What is considered healthy even though it's not? I'm a baker, and I've noticed that lots of people order stuff like flapjack soap cookies as a healthy alternative to cakes. But flapjacks and stuff like that often actually have more sugar syrup than a cake. Cakes contain other binding ingredients to make them hold together: eggs, flour, etc. The most sugar-heavy part of a cake is the icing generally. And some cakes don't even have that ... But stuff where the main ingredients is oats, e.g. flapjacks, are held together almost entirely by the sugar syrup they contain, so would very rarely actually be healthier than a standard cake. Muffins are not healthier than cupcakes. They're about the same. Fruit is not nutritionally on the same level as vegetables. Fruit can be high in sugar and almost as bad for diabetes as a donut is. Giving full, immediate, and unchecked vent to your anger is not actually good for your mental health. It's not a simple matter of bottling it up versus letting it out. Consistently blowing up and losing your temper elevates your blood pressure and teaches your brain chemistry to keep responding that way. Do express your anger, but make sure it's a healthy and productive expression. The way I hear some couples say you're supposed to fight ... that is probably the worst way to phrase it. You are supposed to be different people, and that sometimes leads to disagreements. You're supposed to care about things and each other, that it sometimes leads to being upset when that isn't reciprocated. When someone in a couple says you're supposed to fight, I guarantee that they're justifying some kind of underground cage fighting levels of domestic abuse going on. You're not supposed to do that. Fiber 1 bars are full of fiber, especially inulin, which gives you the type of gas that puts beans to shame. But they're also high in sugar, thus really negating any good health effects they could otherwise have. Plus, and this is a lesson you can only learn the hard way, don't eat a bunch of them at a time. 1, maybe 2 if you're used to them, but absolutely no more than that. It'll hurt if you do. Sometimes probiotics. A lot of people have small intestinal bacteria overgrowth SIBO and don't know it. There shouldn't be a lot, if any, bacteria in the small intestine, and probiotics will make SIBO worse. A gastroenterologist can do a breath test for SIBO. One condition I know of that has a high comorbid frequency of SIBO is fibromyalgia. People often tell overweight people who are just starting out to get on the treadmill, but that's really bad for you. If you haven't done any cardio before and you're overweight, it will do so much damage to your knees. You can walk, but don't run. Rather start out with cycling and then with time start running. Being hypersexual and talking men and women gabbing about who they'd have sex with, pressing others to want more sex, and checking people out to make comments about their body, even if they're in a committed relationship. Everyone thinks it's normal, but it's weird to put so much pressure on something natural. Granola bars, or for that matter most of the highly sweetened high carbohydrate bars out there. They're basically candy bars with fiber, also fruit juice. Major sugar hit with either no fiber or very little fiber. Also dried fruit, super concentrated sugar in an easy to overeat form. Obsessively trying to lose weight. And I'm saying this as a historically plus size, currently mid-sized person who went through a whole weight loss journey. The effort and stress is no help at all. When I was finally kind to myself, that's when I started to become healthier. I've heard that yogurt is pretty bad because of the sugar or artificial sweeteners and because of the inflammatory aspect of dairy. I eat high-protein Greek yogurt anyway, because I need the protein and don't tolerate meats well. I just try to watch my sugars elsewhere. Kellogg's Slim Fit Diet cereal. My mum used to give them to me as a child because I was overweight. When I grew up and was able to read the backside, I noticed that it's full of sugar. I don't know what made them add the slim woman silhouette on the front side. Extreme fad diets and hyperfixations on minor aspects of diet. Orthorexia is incredibly socially condoned simply because the people promoting it are neither fat nor starving, though honestly. Some of them are starving, but have socially confined justifications. Detoxing. With efficient natural detoxification systems, kidneys, liver, so there is no need in detox teas, juices, Most of them are full of laxatives and diuretics and can be potentially harmful or ineffective. Save your money. Vegan nutrition. Yes. With a lot of effort and money, you can make it work in a way that doesn't actively harm your body. But most people don't have the time and or money on their hands to do so, let alone make the stuff taste halfway food-like. Diet soda. I knew it could increase sugar cravings, but I thought it was otherwise harmless. Now I find out only a day is enough to increase risk of kidney problems, and not because of the sweetener or the caffeine. Those are fine. Drinking large quantities of water. In general, drink when thirsty, and you'll be just fine. Some people, or under some circumstances, you have to take extra care to hydrate, otherwise, no, your body will simply tell you. Diet bars. People don't realize that usually the bar isn't a snack, it's a meal replacement. And they usually clock in at 200-300 calories per bar, and then eat like 5 of them a day because they're healthy. Fad diets are my one. You're not losing weight because you stopped eating protein or whatever. You're losing weight because you paid conscious attention to your eating habits for the first time. Professional sports, especially endurance, exercising is good but only in moderation. Running a marathon every week can wreak havoc on your body, even under medical supervision. Diet soda. Even though they're not exactly considered super healthy, the aspartame in them is way worse than any sugar the original drink had. Cereal, whole grains, my ass. The amount of sugar in your generic bowl of Cheerios far supersedes any semblance of nutrition. Canned tuna isn't if you are eating it every day. It contains mercury, and eating too much can cause health issues. Yogurt, granola, kale chips. They all sound healthy, right? Unfortunately, no matter how virtuous a food sounds. Low-fat foods. If something is advertised as low-fat, the sugar is usually juiced way up to make it taste good. Coke Zero. I don't understand people who drink so much of it like it's water just because it has no sugar calories. Coffee is healthy in moderation. Too much is considered unhealthy. This applies to many other things as well. Drinking too much water. If your urine looks completely clear, you are drinking way too much water. Not caring about your diet and then going to the gym, like it all negates the effects of bad food. Washboard ABS. You don't get those without being below the healthy fat content for your body. Wine. People used to say it's good for your heart, but more and more studies are coming up. Low-cal foods are lower in calories than typical, or that food doesn't make it healthy. Everything in moderation. Some things are bad, awful for you, at any dose. Not talking to yourself. Self-talk is a key coping mechanism, right? Juice cleanses, they're like the diet version of a magic potion. Pretty much anything marketed as low-fat, zero sugar or healthy. Processed meats. Grade a carcinogen. Reliable sources. Keto for weight loss when your body doesn't require it. Peanut butter. Tons of calories for the what you get.